Good day everyone, I'm Loncey Johnson and I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to fit a horse for a saddle with these Dennis Lane back profile cards. So when you get the cards, you have 3 A cards, you have 3 B cards, 3 C cards, and 2 of these R cards. So to start off, we'll do a quick fit of the R card and the rock, and you're going to want to a little bit of chalk or some tape is pretty handy for this. And when fitting this rock, you want to be parallel to the back, so kind of at a slight angle. You don't want to be straight up or straight down. So I'm going to lay this in here. And we just want nice contact throughout the back. We don't want to be creasing hairs in the front or the back or in the middle and have too much rock. See, back here we have some gapping here. You can see some daylight through there. So I kind of think the R3 fits the best, but we'll double check this when we're done. When we do this, there's an A with 6 inches, 7 inches, 8 inches, 9 inches. And that measurement is from point B, and then we have point C. So I'm going to make a quick reference. Mark C, B, 8 inches, A. Now, let's fit the A cards. And I'm going to start off, we have A with S, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the S stands for single back. Single back is when the muscling drops straight off from the horse's spine. And then we have 2 D cards, starting with D, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on the other card that I don't have in my hand. And D stands for double back. That's when the muscling is either parallel to the spine or is raised up from the spine, creating a bit of a crease in their back. That's a double back. So let's just start off with S4. Now S4 on this A mark, you can clearly tell that we're too tight down here on the bottom and have lots of gap up here on top. Same with S5. S6, we're getting a lot closer. Still a little bit of gap here and too tight here. S7, now that seems to fit really, really pretty good. So, just for double checking, D4, we can see that we have some gapping here. We're a little bit tight here and gapping here. That's because these are wider through this area. Same with D5, and now we're starting to sit on top of the wither too. So I would say S7 fits the best. Now we have these vertical red marks here. These are important to transfer. So I'm going to make a little mark right there where this red line comes down through. We're gonna double check our rock off of these lines when we're all done here. So now let's move to the B cards. Again, we have the S. The S's for the single backs and the D's for the double backs. So let's just start off with S, say 5. Clearly we have a lot of gapping here up on top and touching on the back, or on the bottom, excuse me. S7, getting closer, but we still have some gapping on the top and some hair creasing down here on the bottom. So let's move to our double backs, our D's. And we'll start off with D8 on this one. We're getting a lot, that's pretty dang close there. and that also fits really well on the D9. Now, this horse in particular is a little bit overweight, hasn't been ridden for a couple months. He had a slight injury, so he's had some time off. Knowing that, D9 fits really well. D8 also fits really close. It's just a slightly tight on the bottom side here. So I'm going to stick with the D8, knowing I'm going to drop a little bit of weight on this horse when I get to riding him. For you, if your horse is overweight and you don't typically get him in good riding shape, I would stick with the D9. But again, for reference here, I'm gonna do the D8. Now this card has a little black hash on this side, so I'm gonna flip this around and I'm gonna use my chalk and mark that little black hash to use later on a later reference. And all the B cards have these little black marks. They're a little closer to the red line on this one, but we'll flip. You got to flip it around and mark that little black mark. Now let's move to the C cards. And again, we have the S's for the single backs and the D's for the double backs. Let's try S7 on this little mark we made earlier. S7 is too tight on the bottom side, and we have some gapping on the top side, and that's the biggest S. So we're gonna have to move to the D's, the double backs. And let's just start off with number 4. Number 4, we have some gapping on the top side, too tight here. Let's move to D6, and we're getting real close there. Slight gapping on top. Pretty good on the sides here. And D7 probably fits the best. Yep, we're again very slightly tight on the bottom side, but we're good on the top side. Now, again, knowing I'm going to drop a little weight on him, I think D7 will work really good. Let me grab D8 just to double check. It's okay to move back and forth and double check and everything. See, D8 fits really well as well. That probably fits the absolute best. We're kind of splitting hairs here on this. And again, knowing that I'm going to drop a little weight, I think I'm going to stick with the D7. Oh. And again, we need to make a little reference mark on our red lines here. So that's going to be right there. So with those little references we made, we're going to reline our hashes on those marks. See, earlier R3 seemed to fit pretty dang good, but we have a little bit of daylight going on here. Let's move to the R6. Make sure you're on the mark here, here, and here. In R6, now we've kind of filled in that daylight we seen earlier when we were out at the wrong angle. You can see daylight. When you line all these marks up, now we got better contact, and it seems to fit a lot better than the R3. Here's the R3 again. You can see some daylight through there, and now we're fitting pretty dang good there. And we're on the 8-inch mark. This is important to reference this S, this distance here from B to A. We're on 8 inches, and that is pretty much in line with your girth. Now, here's what we are looking for. It's important to transfer all this information on paper or whatever you have and get this information to me, so we can transfer that into the tree for your horse. A, S7, our B card is D8, our C card is D7, our rock is a 6, and our distance from B to A is that S and we're 8 inches. So pretty easy, and thank you for your time. God bless.